Beware of Australia. In 2022, this Australian man went toe-to-toe with a kangaroo who attacked him in his front yard.
Went ass up, and then he jumped on me back, and was just fortunate enough that there was a stick there where I landed.
He not only had to keep himself safe, but also his dogs.
Took him to the ground, and was fortunate that I did, because he would have, opened me up like an envelope. So yeah, I wrestled him on the ground for 5 minutes.
He battled the almost 6-foot-tall animal for several minutes, but escaped without serious injury.
He gouged the top of my head, and he bit me on the finger and cut me down the arm and ripped my jacket off.
He was extremely lucky because they are very powerful. And those hind legs, if it had reached forwards and kicked a couple more times, it might have got him somewhere where it could do some real damage. If you've got a kangaroo that's looking a bit aggressive towards you, crouch down, back away. Don't wave your arms at it. Don't stand up tall and be macho, because you're likely to come unstuck.
In 2021, this Australian crocodile was not ready for his close-up and snatched a drone right out of the sky.
I thought, oh wow, that was a brand new drone. This is going to be a really hard one to explain to the boss.
Dane Hurst was recording video and thought he was lining up the perfect shot. The croc had other plans.
And all the crocs were really skittish, but there was one crocodile in particular that was holding its ground and really eyeballing that drone. I thought, great, I'll use this fellow. He's in a stationary spot. I can get some decent shots of him.
Before he knew it, his camera was crocodile food.
I lined the drone up and moved over the top of him. And as I was doing that, I looked up towards the lagoon and saw a crocodile vertical out of the water and heard the great clamping noise of a crocodile's jaws coming together. This is the drone in question.
Staff at the park found the drone washed up on the bank of the lagoon 2 weeks later. The chewed-up device is now hanging on his bulletin board as a cautionary tale. 2 words you never want to hear: spider swarm. Thousands of spiders took up residence on a farm in New South Wales, Australia in 2021. They were trying to escape rising floodwaters.
The spiders have been all over the place. They're just going up on anything they can. There's heaps. On the other side, there's lots more too. I don't really mind them. I grew up around here and there's always been spiders, so it's all good.
Fortunately, the spiders didn't stick around forever.
With the water going up, the spiders are all rushing and all the insects are rushing to dry land and somewhere just to survive. As the water goes down, the spiders are going to leave as well.
The message is this.
Also in 2021, a huntsman spider made an unexpected and unwanted visit during a health official's press conference.
Okay, can someone please get that spider off?
Queensland, Australia Health Minister Yvette Diath was giving an update on COVID-19 when the spider crawled on her leg. She handled it better than most.
This shows how controlled I could be. I don't like huntsmen, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to pretend I don't have a huntsman on me right now and let someone else manage this, but if it gets anywhere near my face, please let me know.
Huntsman spiders can measure about 6 inches across and are known to be fast, moving about 3 feet per second, allowing them to chase down the potential food sources with their long legs. So you can't blame the minister for not taking any chances.
Oh! Okay, sorry. He's wandered off. Okay, we've got COVID and we've got huntsmen.
In 2017, when a homeowner came face to face with one of the deadliest snakes in the world, she called in professionals.
It's big Eastern brown.
An Australian snake catcher took careful steps to wrangle the creature, who wrapped himself around a Lego set in the home. The Eastern brown is the second most venomous land snake, and it happened to be mating season. He wandered in the house looking for love, but instead, he got trapped.
Tongue, see? Big boy.
The snake was relocated to a reptile park and milked so scientists can make antivenom. Hopefully they had Legos for him to play with. In 2021, a surfer had a close encounter with a great white shark.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I walked over here on 2 legs. It's a nice feeling.
Professional surfer Matt Wilkinson's brush with danger was caught by a drone monitoring the Australia waters.
I heard like the of its tail and I kind of looked back and I was like, no, there's nothing there, and I had some weird vibes and just convinced myself that it was all good.
I've seen sharks before, but yeah, as soon as you see it coming close to surface, especially when it's turning around like that, it's quite frightening.
Luckily, something seemed to spook the shark. It got close to Wilkinson, but abruptly turned and swam away. Officials say its nose could have brushed up against the rope of the surfboard. The noise from drones is also known to scare sharks away.
It was such a weird feeling to just know that half a second later I could have been, I don't know, been in a chopper with one leg going to hospital or something. It's a horrible thought, but yeah, I don't know, I'm very grateful.
That is one big toad. A park ranger in Australia stumbled upon the enormous cane toad in January of 2023. This jumbo toad weighed in at 6 pounds, earning the name Toadzilla. The discovery wasn't all good because cane toads are an invasive species on the continent.
The problem with an animal that big is it changes the scope of what it can eat. So it increases its prey selection. So it would be able to eat larger food items than what normal cane toads would. So its impact on the environment is quite significant compared to a normal sized cane toad.
Toadzilla was euthanized in hopes of preventing it from laying eggs. A toad this size could have laid 35,000 eggs.
So their capacity to reproduce is quite staggering. And all parts of the cane toad's breeding cycle are poisonous to Australian native species. So prevention is a big part of how we need to manage them.
I'm very pleased to announce that a short time ago, a missing radioactive capsule was located by emergency services.
In February of 2023, Australian authorities found a radioactive capsule that had gone missing.
The Department of Fire and Emergency Services has led a relentless search over the past 6 days.
The tiny capsule, which was 6 by 8 millimeters long, or 0.24 to 0.31 inches, was lost along a massive highway stretching 870 miles.
When you consider the scope of the research area, locating this object was a monumental challenge. The search groups have quite literally found the needle in the haystack.
Officials say the capsule fell off a truck.
It was 2 metres from the side of the road. The vehicle that identified it was travelling at 70 kilometres per hour when the specialist detection equipment picked up radiation emitted by the missing capsule.
People were warned to stay at least 5 meters from the capsule, as exposure could cause radiation burns or radiation sickness.
It is remote enough that it's not in any major community, so it's unlikely that anybody has been exposed.
Afterward, the capsule was taken to a secure facility in Perth. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.